Your portable power station may be killing your electronics, and you don't even realize it's happening. Portable power stations have a dirty little secret that can cause them to put out dirty, dangerous power, even if they're rated as a pure sine wave output. I'm going to show you how that happens and how to fix it. So here's the problem. And to explain this to you, I'm going to tell you a little story. I was providing a one-on-one video consultation with one of my viewers. By the way, the link to schedule one of those consultations and submit a guaranteed to be answered question by me is down in the description. During that consultation, my viewer was telling me that whenever he had a prolonged power outage and he used his portable power station, he'd notice that sensitive electronics in his house started dying randomly. The control board in his fridge, the TV, all kinds of sensitive electronics like that. Upon further discussion, we actually figured out what was causing that and how to fix it. Allow me to demonstrate. And by the way, this issue is not unique to just one particular power station. It's spread across the vast majority of them, actually. For our story here, we'll replicate what my viewer experienced on this Anker power station. So he'd come and he'd plug his loads into his power station when the power went off. We're using this meter here to give you a visual of what happened. All was well for my viewer until his power station needed to be recharged. When that needed to happen, he'd bust out his gas generator. So I don't have a gas generator identical to my viewer's generator, but I do have a power station that will act as a good substitute. So upon discussing a little further about the gas generator that my viewer had, we discovered that it does not produce clean power. But hang on a second. I have a really nice power station that all my loads are plugged into that has a pure sine wave output. So it should be feeding clean power to my loads. That's what my viewer thought. So notice right now, I have yet to plug in my gas generator back here. Currently, I'm just outputting power from the inverter on this power station. And check it out, we're outputting 118.8 volts. Now I'm going to plug in my quote-unquote dirty power gas generator through the AC plug right here, just like that. And you probably couldn't hear anything, but there was a little click inside this unit. And now if you look at the output here, I've still got my inverter on. You might be able to see the little lights glowing there. But look what happened. I'm outputting 108 volts. Why in the world is that happening? That's because that power station right there is only 110 volt output. And what happened when that little click took place inside this power station, it removed the inverter inside this unit from outputting any power to these plugs. And it is simply redirecting power directly from that power station back there to the outlets. And that's why we're getting the same voltage here as that unit back there. This is called pass-through charging. The reason that power stations do this is because they need to use their inverter in reverse to recharge the battery. So the inverter, the nice inverter, the clean, pure sine wave inverter, is out of the picture. It's being used as a charger right now. And so anything that is plugged into these outlets here will just get what's called pass-through power. That is power directly transferred from whatever source is AC charging this power station. I don't have a dirty power gas generator. So this was the easiest way to show what's happening because of the voltage differential. If this was a dirty power gas generator and I hooked up an oscilloscope over here, you'd be able to see, differences in the sine wave. But going back to my story with my viewer, unbeknownst to him, whenever he was charging his power station, he was directly passing the dirty power from his gas generator to all his loads, and that was what was frying all of his stuff. And what will happen with all of these? I'll show you that really fast. This is the EcoFlow. Nothing's plugged into the charger yet. Look at that. 120 volts. Beautiful clean power coming out of it. Okay, I've got it plugged in now to an AC charging source. And check it out, 109.8 volts. So once again, this is just passing power directly through from its charging source. DJI Power 1000, 121.5 volts. Okay, now I've got it connected back here to our make-believe gas generator. And check it out, 109.9 volts. Same thing. So there are 3 solutions to get around this problem. Solution number 1. Do not connect any loads to your power station while it's charging. So live without power for a short period of time while your generator recharges your power station. That's my least favorite because 1, you're cheating yourself out of continuous power. The whole idea of having a backup power solution is to not live without power when the power is out. And then the other reason I don't like option 1 is because you're running the risk of damaging sensitive electronics in your power station with dirty generator power. So I'm personally not a fan of option 1. Option 2, this one's viable. Get rid of the gas generator that produces the nasty power to begin with, and get a gas generator, inverter based, that produces a pure sine wave output. That solves all your problems, because now it's going to pass its clean, pure sine wave through the power station, and it's safe to use your loads. That will also keep your power station safer as it charges. I think that's a great solution. Allow me to demonstrate that solution for you. So once again, I've got this Anker power station. It's not plugged into anything yet, just running off its inverter. We've got about 119 volts. So now I'm going to plug this into my make-believe gas inverter generator. And now take a look at that. 120 volts. So the good, clean power is getting passed from my quote-unquote inverter gas generator through this power station and to my loads. And you can see it's just as good, if not better, than the power that was being delivered by this power station on its own. If you like this option 2 and want to check out an awesome, really good bang for the buck pure sine wave inverter gas generator, I'm going to leave a link to a video that I made about one recently. It really packs a punch, rated for a surge of 4,000 watts. Yet it's still small enough to kind of carry around, and is dual fuel. So check out that video linked down in the description. So I threw that idea out to my viewer, and he said he did not want to part with his old gas generator that produced dirty power because it was extremely reliable and he knew how to fix it and work on it. And that's totally viable. So that's where option number 3 comes in. Any of you who've been part of the channel for any period of time will know I'm a huge fan of this option. What happens is now, instead of us plugging our power station directly into the dirty source of power, we're going to take that power, convert it to DC power, pass it over to the power station, and then let the inverter in the power station convert the DC power to AC. Let's just show how option 3 works. So we're here. Nothing's plugged in. We're just running off the Anker power station. We've got our voltage of around 119 volts. We simply take this golf cart battery kit. We wire on a fuse and a 10 gauge cable. And this cable has the appropriate end on it to adapt into this power station. And we simply take this and plug it in to the power station. So check this out. The power station is taking in a little over 1,000 watts of power from this golf cart battery. So this golf cart kit comes with this epic charger. It's just part of the package. This is a 56 volt, 18 amp charger. We're able to connect this charger to the terminals of this external battery. At the same time, it's plugged into the power station, feeding power into it. And now I can come plug this into my dirty power gas generator. You can see the charger is blinking a red light saying that it's charging. And if we come over here to our power station, look at that. Our voltage is exactly the same, hovering right around 119 volts. But we're still getting power from the dirty power source. Well, that's because we're converting that to DC power first. This charger doesn't care whether it's clean or dirty power getting fed into it. It will just take it and convert it to DC power. And then at that point, this inverter can just take that and change it over to AC power on its own. And that does away with that pass-through power issue. And so going back to my viewer, this was the perfect solution, because he could keep his old dirty generator that was reliable and he knew how to fix, still make use of that power for the power station and recharge it with the gas generator. But the loads, as well as his portable power station, are never exposed now to potentially damaging power. A side benefit that you get doing option 3 is this battery is literally the equivalent of everything in this power station and its extra battery, plus the equivalent of one of these EcoFlow Delta 2 units. This has 5 kilowatt hours battery capacity. So in addition to my viewer being able to charge off his generator, he was actually able to get a significant boost in battery capacity for his power station, thus prolonging the duration that he could run without even busting out the generator to begin with. Common questions I get asked about this setup: can you hook this charger directly up to the power station? The answer is no, you must have a battery in between. This charger is actively looking for battery voltage. If it doesn't detect battery voltage, it will not turn on. The charge controller in this, which is what we're routing the power through, is also looking for power present. It does not have power by default available at its terminals. And so if you were to connect this up, this will be looking for voltage, which it wouldn't get, and this power station would be looking for voltage, which it wouldn't get either. And so that's why you need a battery in the middle to satisfy both of those components looking for some kind of voltage to be present. Another common question, can I double the chargers up? Yes, absolutely. That's no problem at all. The golf cart battery does have a restriction to how fast you can charge it, so we have to stay within those parameters, but one golf cart battery can easily handle 2 of these chargers in parallel. So this dumps in about 1,000 watts. You could add a second one for 2,000 watts. Another common question I get asked all the time is, how do I charge with solar? If I'm using the solar charging port on the power station to run this battery, how am I able to charge with solar now? The answer is very simple. Just get yourself an external MPPT solar charge controller. In fact, if you get this particular one, which I love because it's got a smart app built in, it's got compatibility with all the common voltages, 12, 24, 36, and 48 volt batteries, lead acid, lithium iron phosphate, everything. It's compatible with whatever battery you need it to be compatible with. Plus, it actually puts in twice as much power to the battery as you could put in through the standard charge controller on this. So you can actually have a much more robust solar charging solution with this versus just relying on the power station. To leave a comment, did you guys already know about this pass-through charging problem prior to watching this video? Have you had experience where you've fried stuff with dirty power before and didn't even realize that's what happened? And do you think that these 3 solutions are the best options to circumvent passing dirty power through to your sensitive loads? I hope I was able to help some of you learn something new. Links to all the components to accomplish what we discussed in this video are down in the description, as well as the links to submit a guaranteed to be answered question by me, as well as a one-on-one video consultation. So take advantage of all those. If you enjoy these just educational pieces of content, be sure and let it show. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hype. Those 5 free things make a world of difference for my YouTube channel. And you guys say this is the kind of content that you really want to see and really enjoy. So I'm trying to deliver. If you'd please reciprocate and do those things so the video gets more reach, that would be extremely helpful and appreciated by me. We got a lot more content coming your way. Sneak peek. I'm going to be doing a full tour and guide on how I built this tower of power. So be excited, be subscribed, stay safe, and we'll catch y'all next time.